You're listening to the Health Powered Productivity Podcast by RaderCo. I'm Marcey Rader, founder and chief productivity lead. This podcast aims to give you and your team bite-sized, time-saving, focus-boosting, health-improving tips you can implement right away. And here we are, the last episode in our series on returning to the office. We have tackled this from every angle: individuals, managers, and company-wide strategies. And today we're going to talk about what's next for the future of work. And with all of this in our series, if you've ever seen me speak or you've read my book, Reclaim Your Workday, you know that I am all about the buffet method. And that is, most people are not going to eat every single item on a large buffet. I do not expect you to be able to put all of these things into practice. Some people may have allergies to what's on the buffet. You may have an allergy to one of my recommendations or something that I propose because you can't do it. Your type of company or industry, you absolutely can't. And it's not that you can't because you have a cognitive bias, it's that you actually can't do it. And then lastly, there may be something on that buffet that you make at home, but I have a little bit different spice. So it's something you're already doing and you're going to tweak it at your company just a little bit. So if we think about the way we work, it has changed dramatically over the last few years, and it's still evolving. We have hybrid models, we have AI-driven productivity tools now, and even the idea of a 4-day work week are shaping how companies approach work. So what is the best way for us to stay ahead? Well, a few key trends to think about. One is AI and automation. Is it a productivity booster or is it a job replacer? AI-powered tools like ChatGPT and Gemini or other kinds of automation software are really changing how teams handle tasks. Now, I am a big fan of ChatGPT. I use the paid version. I use it all day. And, the thing about using AI is, I like the analogy of Botox. And ChatGPT did not give me this analogy. This came from my own brain. And the thing with Botox is, when people see, especially, I'm just going to say celebrities, with frozen faces, and it looks so unnatural, and they're like, oh my gosh, I would never use Botox. It looks terrible. You can always tell. Frozen face. Well, the women and men who use it to enhance their features rather than replace, like regular aging, you don't know that they even use it. If somebody does Botox and they do it well, you have no idea. And that's how you should think of AI. When I read LinkedIn posts or emails that just make me want to cringe because they clearly just copied and pasted something out of Gemini or ChatGPT, it's nails on a chalkboard to me. I can tell. But people who just use it to enhance, and sometimes I can tell when people use it to enhance, but it's good. It's still good. I know that that's still their voice in there. And that's how we use it at RaderCo. I write whatever I'm going to write first. Then I might put it into ChatGPT, say, how could I make this better? And then it spits back something. And then I might tweak it again a little bit. So, think about what tasks can AI replace and what skills are going to become more valuable. What can't AI do right now? Also think about our hybrid and remote work model. This is now permanent, right? Many companies are realizing that hybrid is actually now going to be the one to stay. Why hybrid? Because you may have hired somebody in Austin during the pandemic or when you were fully remote and your company's in Chicago. Well, they're not going to come into the office. So there might still be some people that are remote, and the challenge will be making it work equitably. Employees are demanding flexibility, and businesses that don't adapt are going to lose top talent. So think about our Zoomers who have maybe always worked remote. They got out of college, they may have finished college remote, they may have started a remote job, and it may not be that they don't want to go into an office. They may not know how to work effectively from one. And if you are a Zoomer, don't assume that you do. Just in the same way that, we should not have assumed people would know how to work from home right away. And, we just threw people into their homes and we're like, work, remote. And it doesn't work that way. Next, think about the 4-day work week. Is this a real possibility? And the concept of this 4 days is really gaining traction globally, with several countries and companies implementing or piloting this model. Countries embracing this 4-day work week. Belgium, in 2022, they legislated a 4-day work week, and this allows employees to condense their working hours into 4 days without a reduction in pay. Iceland, between 2015 and 2019, conducted one of the world's largest trials of a shorter work week, and the results were overwhelmingly positive. Currently, 90% of Icelandic workers have reduced working hours. The United Arab Emirates, as of July 2023, implemented a 4-day work week for government employees, covering nearly 90% of its workforce. And then in Japan, starting in April 2025, they're going to implement a 4-day work week for over 160,000 government employees in Tokyo. And this made me giggle. That's said to address declining birth rates and improve work-life balance. I get the improved work-life balance, but the declining birth rates, when I read that, I thought, are they expecting people to have more sexy time or something on that extra day off? I don't know. I thought that was funny. Anyway, companies implementing the 4-day work week include Perpetual Guardian. This is in New Zealand, and they started this in 2018 and found that it increased productivity, customer engagement, and employee satisfaction. Atom Bank, ATOM in the UK, they went to a 4-day work week 3 years ago. They have a company of 550 people. They were able to maintain productivity and profits. And then Medibank, which is in Australia, is currently trialing this with 500 employees. So there are some barriers to adoption, and one of them is financial costs. Concerns about potential increased costs or reduced revenue due to decreased working hours, but it could also be saving money because maybe 1 day a week you're not spending money on air conditioning and heat. Productivity concerns, skepticism about maintaining productivity levels within a shorter time frame. You might have cultural resistance. Deep-rooted traditional work cultures may resist a 4-day work week. And I remember before the pandemic, I was trying to get, a lot of the accounting industry, like, come over to the dark side, allow your people to work remote. And that industry was, they just felt like there's no way they could work remote. And then look what happened. Operational challenges. So there may be difficulties in scheduling, especially in industries requiring continuous coverage or client availability. But you don't have to think about it as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Some people want Mondays off. Others may want to break it up in the middle of the week. Lisa, our client concierge, she works Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. And that works out awesome for us. And then also leadership buy-in. A lack of support from organizational leaders can really impede that transition. So you would want people to be all in. So addressing these barriers requires strategic thinking, clear communication, and a willingness to be adaptable to prioritize employee well-being and productivity. And then also remember outcome-based work. Forget the 9-to-5 thing. More companies are measuring productivity based on results, not hours worked, and the shift towards performance-driven cultures rather than just time tracking. So how do we future-proof our career or business? One is developing skills that transcend location. If you can master deep work and focus management, that will remain valuable in any work environment. If you can prioritize skills in communication, leadership, and adaptability, because remember, AI does not have emotional intelligence. Building your career visibility. Think about how you can stay visible without being in the office 5 days a week. And leverage async communication like Loom. And I talk about this in Reclaim Your Workday. We save so many meetings weekly by using Loom. We record a short 2 or 3 minute video and it saves us a half an hour meeting. Also, using project management systems where productivity can be tracked, right there instead of having meetings with status updates. And I have a podcast episode called, why companies will never get out of email hell. And the answer is because they don't use a project management system. And then also think about leveraging AI as an assistant, not a replacement. Use it to reduce busy work so you can focus on strategic thinking. So let's recap what you can do to stay ahead. 1, develop skills that AI can't replace: communication, leadership, strategic thinking. Position yourself for career growth and hybrid work by maximizing visibility. Use AI tools wisely. Remember the Botox analogy. Advocate for workplace flexibility and experiment with models like the 4-day workweek. And shift to outcome-based productivity, because results matter more than hours at a desk. The future of work isn't just about where we work. It's about how we work smarter, better, and more sustainably. And companies and employees who embrace these will thrive. So that wraps up the 4-part series. If you have enjoyed listening to these episodes, I'd love to hear your feedback. You can connect with me at helloraderco.com or on LinkedIn. That's where I hang out. And we can continue the conversation about the evolving world of work. Until next time, go reclaim your workday. Thanks for listening to the Health Powered Productivity Podcast. If you found value, subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who could use a boost. Want to reclaim your time and energy? Grab my book, Reclaim Your Workday, at reclaimyourworkday.com. And for more productivity tips and to work with RaderCo, visit helloraderco.com.